Welcome, Mark Iron, creator of the Androgenic Method. 3 things: increase your energy, your earning potential, and your masculinity. If you've read my book or you've seen a couple of videos back from these videos, you'll know that we've got a problem, us men. We've been denied for the longest time. Our grandfathers had an average testosterone over 2-fold higher than what it is today. And we can fix this, and it's not too difficult. Now, those 5 videos you see below, this is the 3rd one in this series. The other 2 outlines the problem and the 3 things we need to do to fix the problem. And the previous video showed you very clearly that our body is in a state of lack. When it lacks things, we can't make hormones, we don't have a lot of energy, we're up and down and all over the place. So that very first video clearly shows you what we need to do to fix that first problem. Now, this second problem here, holy shit, it's gonna blow your mind. And before we get to that, just realize that you can fix this, and this is not your fault. We were born into this mess. We are deep in the mud, but we can get out. And we can swim in pristine oceans. We can do that again. So I'm about 3 things again: increasing your energy, physical energy, but also cognitive energy, so you can do your best work. You can think, you can problem solve, you can conceptualize, but that paves the way for great emotional energy. And that's what I want everybody to feel, that great emotional energy, so you're happier. Now, I was in the Dunning-Kruger Club for a long time. What does that mean? What you don't know, you can't fix. How many times have you gone on to Google or YouTube and you've searched for how do you increase your testosterone? I did that for the longest time. It never worked for me. That's simply because I didn't know about these 3 things I'm showing you how to fix in this video series. So what you don't know, you can't fix. So I learned back in 2017, 2018 that I wasn't very smart and I needed extra help to solve this problem. And I reached out to world-respected authorities in the hormonal space, the nutrition space, sexual performance space to put this together so people can get their fucking life back and take life on and show up in this world as an amazing energy. So you can live life on your terms and create wealth for you and your family. And that's why I created the Androgenic Method. Increase your energy, your earning potential, and your damn masculinity that we have been robbed since the 40s. We can get this back. And again, it's not difficult, but it takes a bit of time to get there. We can't learn this all at once. That's one of the most profound things that my coaches helped me with. Now, when I interviewed Dr. Ken Berry, he said that the government, and I'll speak to them in this video, it's going to shock you and piss you off, but it's going to give you so much power because you'll know how easy this is to fix. We just have to know how. And the 5th video in this series, I'm going to show you the steps very simply, and I'll also give you a PDF to follow along so you can go out and action this and get your energy back, your hormones back, and your damn masculinity back. So you can take life on. You'll have the energy. When you have the energy, you feel good. And when you feel good, you do good. You show up in this world on a whole new level. And that's what I want for everybody that I help. Now, Dr. Ken said on my podcast, the government, there's a subset of the population that believe that the government knows everything that's what's going on. Everything. But they're happy to have your testosterone low or average. Why? Because you tend to roll over and take it. You're more apathetic. Your energy's up and down all over the place. We tell ourselves a bullshit story about how when my life gets easier, I'm going to fix this problem. Let me tell you, life doesn't get easier. Life will either beat you down or you'll get stronger every day. And that's what I want to show you how to do. Just 3 things and we can get to that place. Now, Dr. Ken said, roll over and take it. Are you okay with that? Because the big T gives you energy and it makes you feel like you can take the day on. It also makes effort feel good. It lowers anxiety and fear. So this is the very foundation for you to have a profound change in your life. Now, if you've seen the other videos and they're linked below, the problem and the very first part of the solution, lack, if our body lacks, we're not going to make a lot of hormones. We're not going to have a lot of energy. So that second video, you should check that out. The link is below. But if you want to watch this one, continue to do that. Now, what I want to show you is the problem that Dr. J helped me understand. And it's a pretty big problem. It's a damn big problem because your meat and 2-veg are literally shrinking. That's right. And that's something that's hard to hear, but it's happening. If your energy's up and down all over the place and you don't feel like taking life on and you struggle to maintain a lean, muscular physique, this is happening to you. I'm sorry, but very respectfully, this is happening. The longer you take to put it off, or the longer you just decide that you're going to step up and fix this problem, this is going to continue to happen. So I do not want that to happen. It happened to me. And it's happening to men all around. So Dr. J said to me that when your testosterone is below 500, that's a big problem. Better fix it. Now, some men, unfortunately, are way down here. So their manhood is literally shrinking. And if you want to see more about that and understand why that's happening, that video below called The Problem, check that out. The link is in the bio. It shows you why this is happening. But to hell with that, right? I mean, seriously. Now, your very well-meaning, classically trained doctor is happy that you're in this gray area. All right. So testosterone, anywhere from 250 to 1200, you're good. That's bullshit. You want to be above 550. And the reason for that is when you are in the gray or the red area, everything's harder, but the manhood is scaling down. Right. This is what's happening. You don't want to do that. You can easily get that back up. But the caveat that I want to let you know right now is that when you fix these three things, you also could have a pathology. I had 3. Or you could have a metabolic issue that needs to be fleshed out, and you need to do blood work to discover that. So the blood work is going to discover any pathology that you may have or any metabolic dysfunction. And on the final video, I'll put that all together for you. Make it super simple for you. So ultimately what I want to do for you is show you how to get back in the green. In the green here. So 550 and above. Now, when you get to that place, it's going to be easier. You're going to have the energy. You're going to have the confidence. It's going to all start picking up. Effort's going to feel good. And walking around with a lean muscular physique becomes much, much easier. And you can certainly shoot for the blue. If you really want to up the ante and go into the blue, you can certainly do that. But that's a lot more difficult, especially if the meat and 2-veg, very respectfully, have scaled down to a point where you need 6 to 12 months to bring them back up. Now, I was on TRT and I helped men come off TRT. And on the video that I called The Problem, that shows you how you can fix that problem. Even if you've been on TRT, even if you've got shitty low testosterone, you can fix this problem. Now, what I found fascinating from Dr. J was this, that our grandfathers had an average of 800 in the 1940s when testosterone first started to be measured. And the video before this about lack defines why our grandfathers had an average of 800 and we don't. Now, this video is going to go much deeper into these endocrine disruptors that are literally like the machine gun shooting and scaling down your manhood, killing the cells in there, atrophying them. This is what's happening. And to make matters worse, when you've got low testosterone and low growth hormone, you can't scale back up. So we must scale these two V8 hormones back up. Growth hormone and testosterone work side by side to fix you and make you masculine again. And you can do this. Now, I also learned from Dr. Andrew Huberman, professor of neuroscience at Stanford, that there's a subset of men in their 80s and even 90s that are up here. And guess what they fucking don't do? Pardon my French. They don't follow the standard Western shitty ass food diet. That's for damn sure. So if they are at that level, is it a ridiculous idea to think that you can't do this? So this video is going to show you the endocrine disruptors, and there are 3 classes of endocrine disruptors, and you can fix this. So without further ado, let's have a look at how we're going to achieve that. On the previous video, we explored lack. Now, if your body lacks anything, the energy's not going to be there, right? The hormonal pathways aren't going to be there. So your energy's going to be up and down all over the place. So once we fix lack, our body will go from lack to abundance. It's got everything that it needs to bring the hormones back up here. And over time, that's exactly what happens. You start to renew and repair and nourish the entire body. And that's the point. But we have to go from lack to abundance. Now, there's lots of things playing into that. So please go check out that other video, and don't think about it or worry about it right now, because in the 5th and final video, I'll put it all together for you. Very simple stuff. Now, this video, we're going to have a look at natural endocrine disruptors and estrogen-like endocrine disruptors, and look at APS and a fat reset and eliminate. So we're going to go from disrupted hormones over here to enhanced, and that's the damn point. And the next video after this, we're going to look at different foods that increase testosterone and also increase estrogen. Now, I've got a gorgeous wife, Michelle, and 3 fantastically awesome daughters. So that's why I've got an androgenic version, but also an estrogenic version. That's inside my book. So the ladies have got their own version. It's going to support them much better. Now, clearly us men, we don't want to be selecting for estrogenic foods because they've been shown to lower testosterone and increase estrogen. Now, to me, that doesn't sound like a smart idea to do. If we choose for the wrong foods, then that can play into lower testosterone. And lower testosterone means there's no demand. When there's no demand, we start to scale down as men. Now, does that mean that you can never have estrogenic food? Oh, hell no. Of course you can. And I'll put that all together in the 5th and final video. So we've explored lack. We're about to explore the endocrine disruptors. And next after this will be food. So let's have a look at the problem here. Now, this has been around for a fucking long time, pardon my French, and it pisses me off because we were born into this mess. We were born into endocrine disruptors. So this is not our fault. Now, depending on your genetics, as it was taught to me by my mentor, Dr. J, if you've got great genetics, you're not going to miss too much of a beat. You can still have high testosterone, but if you don't, it's going to start edging down. And if you've got crap genetics like me, it's going to come way down. And that's one of the main reasons I had to go on testosterone replacement therapy. And that's only because I didn't know about these 3 problems at all, had no clue, and I was trained as a personal trainer. But when you fix those 3 problems, it unlocks your body's capacity to produce energy and hormones. So that's the damn point. We can do this. Now, there's 84,000 chemicals out there. They're not all endocrine disruptors, but a large majority of them are. I think it's over 20,000 of them. So we have to know where they are and how to get them out of the body. So they cause inflammation. They're in foods, they're in products, they're everywhere. They're estrogenic, so they're pushing down on your estrogen receptors, giving you man boobs. They're anti-androgenic, which means they're destroying your testosterone receptors, right? So even if you're making testosterone or you're on testosterone replacement therapy, you're not as potent because these receptors can't pull testosterone into the cell to do the fucking work. It's just crazy that this is even happening. Now, the Endocrine Society put out a warning, I think it was 2006 or 2008, and they put another one out in 2014. So the Endocrine Society is acknowledging this, but what's our government doing? Sweet fuck all, unfortunately. And you more than likely know the reason as to why that is, but the big problem that we face is that we can't hide from it. In 100% of homes and offices, we're breathing in these things called phthalates, phenols, fragrances. Yeah, so if you can see a fragrance listed on your aftershave or perfume, you're breathing in estrogen, right? That should be illegal, right? You're not allowed to go get a syringe of estrogen and inject it into yourself, but you sure as hell are allowed to breathe this crap in. Doesn't seem right to me. And you've also got these PFASs, and that what they do to you, your manhood, is going to shock you. And you won't believe where this shit is lurking. But, we're breathing this in, so we need to have three things. We need to do a fat reset, and don't worry about what that is now. I'll explain what that is in its entirety later. We need to have an extreme elimination, so we need to know where these chemicals are lurking so that they're not coming into our body at all. And then we need to know how to do an extreme detox. And this is what my mentor, Dr. J, helped me with. So you can upregulate your body's capacity to extract these chemicals 6-fold faster. And that is critically important for us men, and also for the ladies. Now, you might be asking, why is this happening? Well, that's what a lot of these functional medical doctors are doing too. But as you can see here, we have a $15 trillion food and agricultural industry. But you've also got these products that these companies are making for convenience, but they're making us sick, infertile, and underperforming as men. Sexual performance, our apathy, we're up and down. We worry about what other people think. We put shit off. We don't want to do anything. And that is not your fault. The government, my friend, has got a lot to fucking answer for. This needs to stop. So I've written a book about this. This is about a 40-page book, and it shows you all of this shit in its complete entirety. And there's a link below. You can click that link and you better download it straight away. No email, no nothing. I want you to see this problem. And when you read over it, forward it off to a friend so they can see this problem, so we can fix this problem once and for all. Now, let's move on to some of these nasty chemicals. See that pizza box there? I'll explain something in a moment. And it absolutely shocked me. It just shocked me. So you got this whole class of chemicals called PFAS, PFOA, PFOS. They started to be manufactured back in the 1930s by the company 3M. And all these chemicals do is they stop heat, grease, and water from ruining their products. That's it. So as you can imagine, when you put a hot fucking pizza full of fat and shit in that pizza box, right, it's going to destroy the box if they don't protect it with these chemicals. So that's what they do. And look what these chemicals do. Kidney injury. It impairs amino acids, right? So you're not even going to put on muscle because it's impairing that process. Oxidative stress, fibrosis, inflammation. Now, if you haven't watched that video on the problem about how your manhood is shrinking, oxidative stress and inflammation shrink it. Not cool, is it? But they also increase estrogen at the expense of testosterone. And I've got that covered in my book, how and why. But the main reason as to why is because it fires up an enzyme called aromatase. So you've made your testosterone. These chemicals press down on this button called aromatase, and it turns that testosterone into estrogen. So when these chemicals are in you, you're wasting testosterone and you are creating estrogen. We're more apathetic. We're tired when this is happening. It causes endoplasmic reticulum stress. Now, I won't drive into what they are, but just realize this fucking ain't nice. Your body shouldn't be happy. This should not be happening. Infertility. Yeah. Testicular dysgenesis. Shrinking your manhood. If you haven't watched that video on the problem, you should do it because it shows you how this is happening. Obesity, asthma, allergies. It inhibits fat oxidation, and this shit lasts in your body for decades. So that's why you need to learn how to do a fat reset and don't worry about what that is. And also upregulate your body's ability to detox up to 6-fold faster. Because when you do a fat reset, all of this shit's coming out into your blood, and you need a way to get these chemicals out faster than they're coming in, because again, they're stored in your body, predominantly in fat cells. So what we're going to do is focus in on this. Inhibits fat oxidation, right? So that's a twofold problem. So you're trying to lose body fat, you're trying to get lean, and these chemicals largely inhibit body fat from being burnt. But they also largely inhibit the foods that you're eating, the fats that you're eating from being burnt. The consequence of that is you've got lots of these fats in your blood. So it's thick and sludgy blood. Your heart's got to pump harder. Your blood pressure goes up, and your doctor says, oh shit, look at this. This is really bad. Your triglycerides are way up. We need to lower those. But these hardworking doctors don't know anything about these endocrine disrupting chemicals, and this is what's happening. So you can't burn body fat, and the fat that you're eating can't be used as energy. So it's getting stored on your gut, your abs, your thighs, your butt, all over the place. So can you see the problem there? I was just shocked when I learned that. Now, these chemicals, again, the same class, this is how they increase. They take your testosterone and waste it and turn it into estrogen, because they fire up this aromatase, right? But it also puts up your blood pressure. And these PFOAs, they're everywhere, right? Because they are there for the companies to make your life more convenient. So we've given up a lot for convenience. So they are on these non-stick fry pans. So think about that. You think you're doing something healthy, but you're using something that's very convenient, like a non-stick, but this is coming into you. So you're having those 2 eggs, there's fat in those eggs, and you can't use them for energy. And they're in your blood, then they're being stored on your fat cells, because it's inhibiting your body's ability to metabolize fats. I mean, it's just crazy. Now, this class of chemicals, everywhere, absolutely everywhere. We're even breathing them in. So that is why we have to learn how to upregulate the body's ability to get rid of these nasty fucking chemicals faster than they're coming in. And you can do this. In the 5th video in the series, I will show you how to do that. But as you can see, they've even found this shit in polar bears. So it's in our waterways, it's in our oceans, it's in our air, it's everywhere. Man and the government has got a lot to answer for. This is why I'm shouting and trying to reach as many people as I can, because we have to stop doing this. Now, recall that I said that it puts up inflammation. So this is why it makes us kind of, put things off and worry about what other people think. When we've got inflammation, Sapolsky says, it switches on these brain circuits that trigger you and I to go in a behavioral state of avoidance and alarm, right? Avoid. Sick and tired. Don't give a shit. I'm going home. Fuck it. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I've had enough. Alarm. So you can become anxious or be put in a pissy mood. And this is automatically changing your personality to become that kind of person. And you can just as easily move in the opposite direction. But the paradox is that when inflammation goes up, so does our good friend cortisol, and the V8 hormones come down. So if this is going on 24/7 in your body, and the older you are, the worse it becomes, especially because the manhood is shrinking, so you've got less ability to create these V8 hormones. Can you see the problem there? But again, you can fix this. And we do that with the V8 hormones. In video number 5, I'll put it all together for you. So you can see down the bottom here, phthalates, inflammation and oxidative stress. So this is your meat. This is your manhood. So I'm just going to touch on it a little bit. I learned this from world-respected authority Amy B. Keelan in Sexual Performance and Longevity. So on screen there, that's the meat, and those 2 cylinders in the middle are smooth muscle. And anything here, oxidative stress, or on the previous video, lack of workers, which are vitamins and minerals, that will cause oxidative stress. Any of these endocrine disruptors that I'm speaking to here today, unresolved inflammation, which I'll cover on the next video, and low testosterone all scale down your meat and 2 veg. Do you feel like you're losing your masculinity? Is your energy up and down all over the place? Where do you want it to be? What kind of person do you want to show up as? So, I just want to emphasize that you can fix this problem. It does require work, and it requires knowing where your starting foundation is. If you've got pathologies, again, I had 3, and you could have metabolic issues as well. They have to be all rooted out and fixed first. But when you fix all that and these 3 problems, your body is liberated for energy, hormones, and better emotional states. You become much happier. And look where these phthalates are lurking. I mentioned up here, they cause oxidative stress and inflammation. It scales and shrinks your manhood, your sexual performance. Artificial grass, pharmaceuticals. When I was speaking to Dr. J, he said that they're even in the IV drips of your loved ones in hospital. These phthalates are going into your loved ones' veins and they're in hospital. It's just crazy. And as you can see up here, they're everywhere, even in polar bears, because we've been doing this since the 1920s. So it's been happening for such a long time. Now, these phthalates, if you get any bottled water, they can be found in concentrations around 1680 nanograms per litre. Now, that is huge. A man's natural estrogen should be around about 40. Do you see the problem there? And when estrogen goes up that high, even if it's just fake estrogen, it shuts down your body's ability to create testosterone. So it's always low. You're never quite there. And have you ever heard the companies say before, oh, my product is BPA free? Well, this is going to piss you off and shock you. I learned this from Dr. J. These companies tweak the plastic chemical signature a little bit, and they come up with 8 more analogs that they can legally sell as BPA free. But here's the problem. They are just as toxic or more toxic than BPA. Right? It's just absolutely tragic that this is going on, but this is what's going on. Now, this one here is this round circle here. Don't worry about what it means, but it's the mitochondria. Now, just to refresh your memory, if you haven't seen the previous videos, the mitochondria are the only place that you can burn your body fat. And they produce the vast majority of all of your energy. And they produce all your testosterone, your sex hormones. This is where it all starts. This is where it all happens. Now, we'll just go back here. And this will really piss you off and shock you that these chemicals are potent inhibitors of the mitochondrial function. Right? So not only are they slowing down your body's ability to produce energy, to burn body fat, and to make testosterone, but they're atrophying them, shrinking them over time. Do you see the problem there? And this research paper down the bottom, phthalate-induced testicular mitochondrial dysfunction. I was so pissed off when I learned about this, but I didn't really give a shit because I knew I could fix the problem. And that's the beautiful thing. And in the 5th video in this series, I'm going to put it all together for you. And if you've bought my book, you'll get there faster. But I'll put it all together for you in a very short and concise PDF that you can, take away and go at it. Get your energy back and start getting your hormones back. But, it's so pervasive. These amazing, hardworking scientists have had to come up with fucking terms like obesogens for these chemicals, diabetogens. So they cause insulin resistance, glucose intolerance, dyslipidemia, which is a fancy way of saying you've got lots of fucking fat in your veins. So your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, but you're tired and your V8 hormones come down. So it's pretty shitty. But one of the most profoundly life-changing things, when I I was floored when I saw this. Oh man, I'll just read over it. And I spoke to it on the previous videos too, but I just want to speak to it on every video, because if someone misses this, I don't want anyone to miss this, because scientists are extremely concerned with future generations. Now listen to this. These anti-androgens, a group of chemicals able to disrupt androgen action in fetal life. So the unborn baby, the growing baby, with irreversible demasculinizing consequences. So they come out fucking handicapped for life. So our men aren't men anymore. Our boys are coming out more feminized, weaker. What's going to happen to men in a generation, 2 generations from now, if this shit continues to happen? We have to get the word out there. Now, in below this, you've got the 2 links to the previous videos, but you've also got that link to this, which I'd love you to hand around. Let me just fly back up here. This PDF that I'm going to find here, I've just got a lot of slides here. There it is. So that shows you the problem, 42 pages long. And, it's something you can read over, and you can see the complexity of the problem, but you'll also realize that you can fix this problem. And if you want to go at this hard now and find out what these chemicals are, grab my book. It's $7. The link is below. And, when we get to the 5th video, I'm going to give you advanced strategies that are not covered in this book. But, first and foremost, I want men to feel like they can take life on. To have great emotional energy, to feel like that, damn, I just can't wait to wake up in the morning. I've got so much to look forward to in life. I've got the energy. I'm here to play a big game. I want my wife and my kids to know in their heart of hearts that I'm the man that's going to protect them, that's going to give them everything that they deserve. This is what I want you to feel like, because you can feel like this again. Remember, Dr. Ken, he said that there's a subset of the population that believe that the government knows everything about low testosterone and how apathetic it makes men feel, because we just tend to roll over and take it. We eat the shitty food that keeps the economy turning. To hell with that. I'm sick and tired of that bullshit. So if you're sick and tired of it, comment below, reach out to me, help me spread the word, get that PDF, forward it off to other people so they can see the complexity of the problem, but that they can solve this problem. And even if they've got a broken ball sack and meat, they can fix this problem. So my name is Mark Iron, creator of the Androgenic Method, where I can help you increase your energy, your V8 hormones, your earning potential, and get your masculinity back. Because nothing feels better than to feel like a man, that you can protect your family, that you can take life on, you can build a legacy, you can live life on your terms and create wealth. That's what I'm about. That's what I want you to create. So there it is. Consider subscribing and liking this video, and I'll see you on the next video.